Welcome, everybody, to Catfish Weekly, presented by Whiskerware Apparel, along with Chuck Davison and Doc Lang. I'm Lyle Stokes, and we got a full crew on tonight, people. We got Heath Malone with Indiana Hunter, and we're going to talk about Christmas gifts for the catfisherman or woman in your life. And we got Jody Harrison and Daniel Parsons, and we're going to be talking about winter blues on Wheeler. The next big event got coming up, and I can't wait to get into that. Chuck, are you set for this deal tonight?
Oh, yeah, I'm set.
I know you haven't been feeling too good, but this will be a big show. We get all this done tonight, and in somewhere in the hour range or so, we'll be doing pretty good.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Doc, I assume that it's warmed up and you're fishing over there in Ohio.
Oh, no.
No?
It's 22 degrees out here. It's cold.
Oh, man. Well, if it's got to be one of us, it might as well be me and you, because the rest of them boys, except for Heath, is down south where it's nice and toasty.
Yeah.
Daniel?
It was cold all weekend.
Yeah, it was cold here too. It just really, I have the fireplace going for Cindy just because it's cold, you know. Not that I like to mess with it, but she likes to be warm, and that's just the way it is. So here we do.
The white stuff went north of us, which that's fine with me, even though I got 2 4-wheel drives, and it's all the other people I worry about.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It sure is. It doesn't really matter. And 4-wheel drives will only make you go if they don't make you stop a bit better.
Yeah, here in Ohio, when they see white stuff, I mean, if the speed limit's 70, it's time to go 80. You get there much quicker.
That's exactly right. So. That's exactly right. Heath, how's you doing tonight, buddy?
Good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. We've been working to get you on here for quite some time, and I'm finally glad to get everything lined up and get you on here. And how's things with Indiana Hunter going?
Oh, just as normal. We haven't really done much filming this year, hunting-wise. Jason and I have been so busy. We went out and filmed in bow season a few times. I filmed for Brett Wilhite, another guy with Indiana Hunter. I filmed for him a couple times. But with everybody being so busy, we just didn't get a chance to do it this year. And it was really slow hunting for most of us. So it was just hard to get out there and do that. But that's why we do what we do, and we're not trying to make a TV show. We just, if we get it done one year, we do. If we don't, we don't. No big deal.
That's right. It's kind of like fishing. You know the fish are there, and if you catch them, you got a good show, and if you don't catch them, there's always next week.
Yep.
Well, we're sure glad to have you and Jody and Daniel on with us tonight. We're going to talk about some Christmas presents for the fishermen, and then we're going to get to dealing on this winter blues on Wheeler. I just this is a big event every year, and I know everybody looks forward to it. They got warm weather down there, and us guys up in the Midwest and central part of the United States and even further north, it's not so pleasingly warm. I think Chuck told me it was 50-something down there a while ago. Well, we haven't seen 50 in a while, so
no.
You know, I'm thinking that everybody that wants to catch blues or fish a tournament or just get out of the house needs to be heading down to Alabama and get in on that, because it's going to be a lot of fun. Doc, have you got a list of stuff that you wanted to talk about for presents for catfishing people?
No.
You don't?
Yeah, I've been bad all year, so ain't nobody gonna bring me nothing this year.
Well, what about for other people? You got any suggestions for them?
Whiskerware Apparel, get your catfish on. One of our sponsors.
That's right. That would be a prime, inexpensive, quality product that everybody can enjoy.
Yeah, he makes some nice hats, and he's got some good shirts. I'm waiting for the shorts that he comes out with, shorts that says something on them, you know.
Well, now
Heath
wear
on the boat.
Heath and I, a few years ago, I don't remember who all was involved with it, but if I look real carefully, I can think that I can find a picture or two where they had some men's G-strings and tops and different things. You remember that, Heath?
Fortunately,
No.
Well,
Trust me, nobody wants to see a naked fat man out on a boat.
well, now I've got some pictures of Heath. I've got some pictures of Heath, and I think we done some up of Rob, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, when we were on the Mississippi Monster, Daniel was shocked because that was the first time he'd ever seen me. He said, "Is that Doc? He's wearing shorts. I've never seen his legs before." So, but, yeah. The other thing is reels. You know, everybody loves reels, that kind of stuff, and even rods, Black Horse, custom rods. That's the rod, at least on this show.
Well, we're working with some other companies, so we're going to have some stuff coming up that everybody can enjoy. It'll be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Well, don't forget, our big fish sponsor for Winter Blues, Bottom Dwellers Tackle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, from now through December 22nd, they got free shipping on everything over $75.
Yeah.
It don't take long to get $75 worth of stuff from
No,
Dave.
not at all. Man, I know as well as I do it. Anytime you can get some free shipping, you need to be jumping on it. You know, unfortunately,
Well, that ain't no joke.
Well, David, he's that's his special going on right now. So get everybody check it out. Free shipping over $75.
You know, when you talk about shipping rods, it costs a couple bucks to ship those, and most of the time, I know Dave's the same as me or anybody else. When you ship them things, you can probably do 6 as cheap as you can do 1. So if you're looking at 2 or 3, that's definitely the time to do it from a guy like that that's got them all ready to go, where all he's got to do is put them in his tube and send them on out.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's like with us, with the fin clips and stuff that we ship. You know, the fin clips, the treatments, and all that. I mean, that stuff gets heavy quick.
Oh yeah, liquid stuff does. And while we're on that subject, Jody, what better Christmas gifts or stocking stuffers and products from Fish Life? I mean, they can get a hold of you guys and get all that kind of stuff and get it shipped out and have it on time if they get it in right quick. Because to be right honest, we're running out of time.
That's right. You know, and Bottom Dwellers, they're carrying our full line right now, so.
You can get her right through Dave.
That would be a good time to get in on that free shipping.
I'll guarantee you won't find anybody that ships any faster than Dave Ashby.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you wonder if he reads your mind because he gets out there.
Oh, man, I never seen nothing like him. He's been like that as long as I've known. He's always been there. Chuck, what do you got lined up for Christmas gifts for the Catfishermen?
Well, you know, the problem we've had in the past is nobody knows what to get. You know, what did Leanne always do? She called you and said, Lyle, what?
You froze up.
Spouses, friends, and asked them, you know, what have they talked about that they need? Maybe go through their tackle box, see what they use, because whatever they use, they usually use a lot of it. So, you know, go see what size hooks, look at the packaging, or either just get on the phone, call David Ashby at Bottom Dwellers and say, hey, what has he ordered in the past? Send me a load of stuff. I want to spend this much money. What can you put together for him in this price range and get out to me that he would really like? David Ashby can read everybody's mind. He knows exactly what everybody's ordered in the past. He keeps a history of it, and he can get it right out to you in time for Christmas if you react fast enough.
Well, I'll tell you something else about Dave, Chuck. Dave can remember what he sold a guy 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to refer to any notes either.
No, he's got it right there. He's got it right there, and he'll know what it is, where he give it to you at, what it costs. I mean, the man can remember anything. Never seen nothing like it. Well, that's a really good idea. Getting a hold of stuff, looking through people's things, seeing what they got. A lot of the partners are not partners, but family members and stuff. If they don't go out fishing with guys or gals, they don't know what they use and don't stay on top of it. But a lot of people do know what other people need, and that helps out. Heath, what do you think about that?
Some of the things I thought about were stuff I've got caught out on the water and really needed and didn't have in the boat. One of the things is you could just put a little package together to have somebody put in their boat. Simple things like a tube of aspirin, a pair of sunglasses, and maybe some Band-Aids. I know there's been several situations where I've been out on the water and I got headaches, didn't have aspirin in the boat, or I forgot to bring my sunglasses. But if you give somebody something like that, little bundle they can always keep in the boat, that'll come in helpful. And I'm sure you guys have been caught out there before thinking, man, I wish I had another pair of sunglasses or some aspirin or something like that.
Sunglasses especially, because they'll blow off, you'll lose them. Hats is another thing that I lose a lot of in a boat, you know, and they blow off, and by the time you get boat turn around, get back to them, they're sunk. Same way sunglasses. You got to have backups. If you don't, you're just kidding yourself.
Mm-hmm. I guess something else I would think of, I've got a list of things here, was I like the collapsible rulers. They sell them at Bass Pro and Walmart. I think they're 50-some inches, but they collapse way down, and you can put them even in a tackle box. So if you're fishing a tournament, you know, and you've got that 34 or 35-inch rule, that'll always come in handy if you have one of those rulers. Then fish grips. Seems like you can never have enough fish grips. Bottom Dwellers Tackle sells the Patriots, and those are the ones we have in our boat, and they seem to work great. But anything,
Right.
Anything to cut line, pliers, anything like that is always things to get. And something I wish my wife would get me every year is a new bait cooler, because you know how they are. Every single year they get disgusting.
I'm going to tell you, Heath, what I do with them after about every trip come home, we fill them up with bleach water, let them set overnight, and take that water and clean the outside of it and then pour it out. And I don't have too much issues with bait coolers. I
have a real bad habit of going fishing all night, coming home and leaving everything sitting out. I'll go, oh no, there's that bait cooler, and it's terrible.
That surprise about 2 days down the road in that hot, bright sunlight is shocking sometimes.
Terrible.
It sounds like you guys need some of our live well cleaners.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jody.
We put that stuff. We need to use you guys as test subjects.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How bad can it get? Let's try it and see.
Well, it can get pretty bad. I'm here to tell you.
Well, remind me, I'm gonna give you some of it when y'all come back. I want you to put it through its paces.
Oh man, Heath and I have talked about this before. He said, "Man, I forgot to take that bait out there." And another guy that does it is what's the name up here? Guys on the Chris Jones guys up here on Lake Ozark. I know he made a post last spring or fall or something where he left it in there for like a week or over, and I guess it was just pretty rough. You know, it was real hot weather out there.
Yeah.
Skipjack left in a cooler in 100-degree Alabama heat. Just throw the cooler out. Just throw it out.
It doesn't matter how much it costs, just throw it away.
No. And it's times like that, you know, I bought a Yeti 3 or 4 years ago, cooler, so that I could catch it and keep it a little bit better instead of freezing it to my next tournament. I left it in there. Week and a half goes by, and it's got probably 20 skipjack in it. It's been 105 degrees in Alabama. And you look at it, and you honestly think, do I just burn $400? or do I just, you know, what do you do? That was a bad day.
Well, I'm telling you, that bleach does wonders, because I'm not throwing one of them away. I just ain't doing it.
That cooler still smells like it. I got it in the backyard. I can smell it from here just about.
Oh, man. Vince Nadowski thinks that everybody should get a new fish finder or trolling motor. Well, that could be, and to tell you the truth, Vince, that's some cheaper than some of the stuff on my list. But what else have you got for us, Heath?
No, that's pretty much it. Maybe a scale. It seems like the digital scales I buy, I get about a year on them, and that's just being in the boat, being in the rain, or
Right.
on them. I ruin everything though. Maybe other people have better luck.
I've got scales that I've had for a long time. They still work all right, but they're getting to where they're hard to read, as old as they are. Well, I've got a little list here. Church's planer board, of course, whisker wear. Drift masters or some type of rod holder for your boat if you don't have enough of them. Here's the one that I've been saving up, and I can't believe that you guys didn't get on this. Entry fees to a tournament. Right now, the prime thing would be an entry fee to Winter Blues on Wheeler. But you could always go with Mississippi River Monsters or Monsters on the Ohio or Rising Sun or any local tournament. I can't think of anybody that wouldn't like that. Gift cards to Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's. Pay somebody's way to go to the Catfish Conference. I mean, there's going to be a ton of people there with a ton of stuff going on. And it don't cost very much to get there, but if you just want to throw something in a stocking for somebody, pay their way to go to the Catfish Conference. Gas cards. Who in the world don't need gas for their boat? I know I do. Boat motor oil. Something else that everybody needs. Something that people forget about that's easy to do is get somebody their fishing license. You got to have them. I mean, just kind of the way it is. For guys that are out sitting in the sun and need something, a major product, get them a Bimini top for their boat or an enclosure, something like that. We got the rods and reels. Something else that people forget about is trailer tires for the trailer. You can always get somebody. Somebody needs trailer tires for their boat. I promise you, somebody does. New cooler. What's that? What you say, Keith?
I need to talk to my wife about that. Remember when we were in Owensboro? What are you doing 7 hours without a spare tire?
I don't know how in the world you could stay sane and do that. I couldn't do it. There just ain't no way. New coolers, whether it be for bait cooler, just a cooler to put in your boat. A GoPro camera is a good option for somebody that wants to record fishing trips with them. I seen something online the other day that was called a Cobra garage door storage rack. It was like $35 and it mounts to your folding garage doors. It goes up and you put 4 or 5 rods on each one of them. I just thought that was pretty neat. I'd never seen that before. Thought it was really cool. A first aid kit, and like he said, a way to measure fish in tournaments that has 34, 35-inch rules. That's just something that's not expensive that you can pick up for somebody. And for all you spouses or people that know other guys, could always buy them a new boat. I don't know anybody that would turn that down.
Yeah. Well, your list was expensive.
Well, I know there's a Monster Cat for sale that somebody could own, probably really worth the money, and it's a really, really nice boat.
Well, it don't hurt to ask. I mean, all I can say is no. I mean, it's a 50-50 shot. Yeah, that is yes or no.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But that's just a few things that if you're running late on time and you got to pick up something and you know that they're a catfisherman or a catfisherwoman, you can always pick them up a real nice reel. Stuff like that. Like James says, fishing license. That's something that everybody's got to have. In Missouri, if you're 65 or older, you do not have to have one. Or if you're 15 or younger than 15, you don't have to have one. But I don't fall into either one of those categories yet. It won't be long on part of it. But the end result is you got to have one. They're not that expensive. You can throw it in their stocking or just wrap it up in an envelope and give it to them. It's a good thing. Chuck, do you mean lifetime fishing license?
Yes.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I don't know what that costs. I don't have any idea. I know they're available.
a few $100.
Well, that's really not that bad. You'd never have to do it again.
It would depend, it depends on how old you are, really.
Never.
If
Doc,
you're
you and me, that ain't going to work out real well.
Hey, let's not go there. Come on, let's not go there.
GoPro.
Yeah, the GoPro thing I thought was a really good deal. They're simple to operate. They'll mount to anything. You can put them up the air or down on the windshield or anywhere and videotape your stuff and share all your things with all your buds. It's just a really cool gift. They're not the most cheap thing you can buy, but they're for sure not as expensive as a new boat. So it's kind of a hit in the middle deal.
If you do get a GoPro for somebody, spend the extra $15, and I just had one sitting here when Lyle said that, and get the adapter where you can hook a mic to it, and that's gonna save the sound. I mean, I don't know how many GoPro videos you've watched, but if they're without a microphone in the wind or anything, it's pretty bad. So for another $15, you can have good audio.
Yeah, but you don't get to have it in the enclosure that way, right?
Yeah.
And submergible.
You can do what I did is, I don't know if you can see it here, but I just drilled the side of the case out and I just put it right in there. Now, obviously, if it was raining real hard, that wouldn't work, but it works for what I'm doing most of the time.
Cast nets.
I'm back. I hit the wrong button. What's that? Cast nets. Who don't go through a couple of them every year?
Yeah.
Boat anchors.
That's pretty cool.
Boat anchors. Yeah.
Boat anchors.
Boat anchors. Rope.
Yep, that's right.
I used to go through 4 or 5 quarter-pound spools of fishing line every year, and my wife in the last 2 years, that's what she would get me was because I'm a monofilament guy. I don't want to braid. I probably should have, or I wouldn't have to go through 5 or 6 of them. But anyway, she knew what I used. She would go out in the garage or something and see what I was using that month or what I was trying out here or there, and she would just get me 5 or 6 spools or even a 1 pound spool of fishing line. And believe it or not, that is one thing that when you're headed to a tournament and you don't know the area, you don't know, if I was going up to Ohio right now or Monster on the Ohio, I've never been up to that area. I don't, except for the Catfish bunker up there, I wouldn't know where to get fishing line. So, but to have a full 1 pound spool in there, and you can get them for $50, $60 for most monofilament, it's something that most people don't think about until they need it.
That's right. That's right. Vince Godowski says AAA, and I'm assuming he's talking about Motor Club insurance, which would be another great gift, especially if you get. You won't think about it until you're broke down out on the road. You'll be thinking about it then, I promise.
Vince has used that a lot here in the last few years.
Well, if it has to be one of us, I'm glad it's him and not me.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to be stranded out on the road. None. Not ever. It has happened, but I hope it never happens again.
Yeah, any kind of gift certificate. You can pretty much buy anything with any gift certificate.
Well, and one of the greatest things in the world is if is a gift certificate to go out and eat somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do a little bit of that, don't we, Lyle?
Yes, we do. And we don't cut them no slack, do we, Doc?
No, we don't.
That's a fact. We did tear up some stuff when we get that all-you-can-eat thing. And if you're around Big Dave, talking about bottom dwellers,
that
man can do some damage on some. Yeah, he can do some damage on some shrimp. Now, I just I didn't think anybody could eat more shrimp than me, but him and old Ron, they both could put me to shame. They just do it. That's all. J.D. Richardson's another one. He likes that stuff too.
Yeah.
Good guys. Well, that ought to be a pretty good list for everybody. You ought to be able to pick something out of all that stuff for people to figure out something to go on. And I think it was a fun deal and give everybody some ideas if they forgot something or if they just need to grab something quick. They can surely find something out of there for the catfisherman or woman that they need to get something for. Now, let's get on to the other stuff. Winter blues on wheelers. What are we, 3 weeks out? Something like that?
Yeah, not far from it.
Yeah.
It's getting really.
That's why I was telling Daniel. I mean, he was talking about it. I said, well, I guess it's time for us to start getting into tournament mode and start getting this thing ready to go.
That's for sure. Now, I know, see these guys posting these pictures. It's been on Wheeler, and they've been catching the crap out of some really good fish down there.
Oh yeah, they're starting to turn on. It's getting into that pattern now.
Yeah,
That's right.
I know there's a lot of people planning on it. I don't even know for sure if there's 8 cabins left down there.
I'll be calling the lodge tomorrow to get an update on that. Usually about 2 weeks out, I start getting those type of updates. Last time I talked with Susie at the Lauderdale County Tourism, they had one in Florence starting to get a few boats in, or getting a few for that time period that were tournament people. And this is the first year that we've had. Normally in Rogersville, you have Economy Inn, and you also have the State Park Lodge and the cabins. But they started doing some closer to Florence recently, and she told me she had 3 or 4 in that one that was starting to get up. So that's it's growing. It's growing more than I ever thought. So, I'll be able to post an update on the cabins and on the room situations tomorrow.
That'd be great. And Daniel, if you happen to think about it and have the time, if you would share that information to the Catfish Weekly page, because I know a lot of these guys are watching things and they'll stay up to date with that, so they'll know if there's a place to stay or whatever, for whatever information you need. That would be helpful, I believe, to a lot of the guys that are showing up down there.
Well, it's this year's a little bit interesting because one, we had a date change, which we've been working through that, and 2, the state park superintendent that we worked with real closely for the last 2 years took a statewide job instead of just that area. He took the superintendent for all of Alabama state parks, and now we have a different one that's kind of new to the scene. I remember the first year that state park superintendent coming out and speaking to everybody, saying, thank you. We thought he was crazy, but thank you. And I have a feeling he's going to be the same way, because he catfish tournament. I've never heard of that, so here we go again. But you know what? For me in this state, it's so much fun to have people, see people's faces and see people's reaction whenever they see that kind of stuff, whenever they see that weigh-in, whenever they see what resource they have.
That's one thing, we're really trying to reach out to, a lot of the local convention and visitor bureaus and all here in Alabama to show them that, catfishing is a real deal. That it's really something that's a legitimate sport here in the state. Alabama is, Alabama's known for bass fishing. And anytime anybody says anything about a fishing tournament, that's the first thing they think of is bass tournament. So we're going to try really hard this year. We're going as far as even setting up a tent for the the people that want to try to get in there. And we're going to feed them while they're there and just really try to show them what catfishing is all about. And I really encourage all the anglers that that's going to be fishing this thing to let's show out a little bit. Let's get up there and put on a show. Let's even though you may catch a 30-pound catfish that you don't feel like it's big enough for nothing, get up there and show that fish off, because there's a lot of these people ain't never seen that. You consider it a bad fish, but the wow factor in this catfishing is what's really going to legitimize this sport. So we're really pushing hard down here, trying to get these people to see what we're doing here.
It's Jody. I know that Alabama is well known for their bass fishing, but there's not just every place in the world you can go down and turn yourself on to fish like Wheeler has, or not just Wheeler, but Wilson and some of the other places down there too. But it's not as well known as the bass fishing. And now to us guys that fish for catfish, we know about it, but the rest of the world hasn't figured it out yet. And maybe that's why that the catfishing guys can still go down there and put them giants in the boat.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But, you know, it's just, and I'm speaking from experience. I didn't know. I mean, until I got to know Chuck and I got to know Daniel, I never knew about it. So, I mean, it's one of the best kept secrets in Alabama. And, you know, I'm excited to show people, you know, what we've got here.
Oh, man, it was a great time. This will be what, Daniel, the third or fourth one?
This will be the third one.
The third one, yeah. And it's never been unbearably. It was a little chilly last year at takeoff, but it wasn't bad. And it was the day warmed up where it was a beautiful day.
It might not have been cold or chilly to y'all, but we're not. No.
It was 28 degrees at last time. And as soon as we got them boats out there, I ran over there, jumped at the truck. I said, "My God, I'm freezing to death out here." You know, but you northern folks, y'all down there in shorts and t-shirts.
Yeah, I remember live well checks that morning. We had everybody lined up, and I'm doing my best to not just shiver, staring at people. I look like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man with all my jackets on. I had Casey rubbing my back, trying to warm me up, and I'm staring at people like, "Yeah, go ahead." And it's 49 feet whenever, right about the time the show started, and I'm not used to this. We're talking about moving down to Florida after this year or something. This is.
Yeah, I've been trying to talk my wife into it too. So let's leave Alabama and go south.
Yeah, I'm tropical.
Chuck, these are your buds down there, man.
When it gets too cold to wear shorts, it's too cold. Shorts and flip flops is for me.
Oh man.
You
guys would really struggle up here where we're at, right, Heath?
I'm not coming at all.
I'm hoping
I'm not there.
You know, in case you guys have missed it, as cold as it's been around here, there's guys out on Missouri River catching fish all weekend. They caught some really nice fish too. I mean, they wasn't just little bitty channel cats. They caught some giants, and it was too cold for me. I'll tell you that.
Well, that's when the big ones come out to play.
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah, that's right. So, but you know, we're really hoping to see that for winter blues. I mean, you know, I'm so excited. I'm having to sit on my hands to keep clapping. And
how many boats you got registered?
We got 33 pre-registered right now. And got a call from a guy a little while ago that he was wanting to mail in a check. And you know, so I mean, we're you know, right now we're sitting in 33, 34 boats. You know, but you know, we really need to appeal to everybody. We need 100 boats in this tournament. We need, you know, had 30 something the first year it was there, had 78 the second year, and we really need to hit that 100 mark this year to, you know, be able to keep this momentum going. You know, right. Daniel's done a heck of a job putting this thing together. I mean, he's really raised the bar on, you know, what tournament catfishing is all about, and you know, we need to keep this traction going. And I mean, $5,000 first place, and you know, $1,000 bottom dwellers tackle big fish. I mean, you know, that's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, that's a good tournament.
That's a great payout anywhere you go. And like I say, have you guys got any kind of prediction on the weather that far in advance?
Hey, this is Alabama. There's no telling. It might be 80 degrees. It might be 8 degrees. Who knows?
Yeah, we were talking about the weather earlier.
Hey, Jody, can you turn your volume down just a little bit?
You know, we were talking a few minutes ago about the weather between the first one, second one, and you know, the first one, it was mid-50s. I think a hurricane came through, rained all day long. Last year, it was bright, sunny days, kind of cool. But you remember the week before, we had record rainfall. We had flood conditions, and it was on a falling river. This year, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a tornado that morning. Just the way things go. You know, this is Alabama. We had Saturday, it was 22 in the morning. Yesterday, it was 45 in the morning. This morning, it was 50. I think tomorrow's supposed to be 60 in the morning. You know, it's a weird time of year. Because of that, this tournament has been very interesting for me. You know, last year my heart was just going because of the flood stuff, and you can never tell. And because of that, everybody waits till captain's meeting to sign up, which I completely understand. The first year we had 15 registered and 30. What Jody said earlier, but last year going into the captain's meeting we had 36 registered, and we ended up with 78 votes. So going into this year, I would like to say over 100. I'm betting on 100. It's growing that much. It's a great time. It's a great area. It's a great lake. But you know, this year we had a little bit of a back and forth with the tourism board on the very last day of the year, first weekend of the year, kind of going back and forth. And hopefully this works out for everybody. We tried to. I'm going to be out of the country the next weekend, so did what we could, but we're going to have a good time either way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I got a buddy of mine that's going to be coming up. He's going to be there all day for the tournament, and he's bringing his big barbecue cooker up there. And this guy, he does a fantastic job cooking barbecue. So he says he's going to have it there for everybody at weigh-in. So he says he's going to keep his prices low where everybody can afford to eat. And, you know, so that'll be good. You come in off the water and you have some hot barbecue there, and you can stand around and eat barbecue and watch the weigh-in. And, you know, so that's one little thing we're trying to do to kind of up it out a little bit too. So,
that'll be really good, because you come off that water, you're always hungry, and if it's warm, it's going to be really outstanding.
Yep. And this guy, he does good. He makes real good barbecue, and you know, fat boy like me knows where to get some good barbecue at. So I recommend it. You can't take that some old skinny guy said. Skinny guy says something good, you don't need to listen to him. Look for the fat boy talk.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
You know, we're excited about it. I mean, I just every day I'm thinking about it, and you know, and I mean, it's just everything's coming together good for it. We just need the anglers to show up. That's what we need.
That's right.
You know, and plus, I mean, this is going to be the first tournament to get them first 5 qualified, right?
That's exactly right. You will be the first tournament to qualify the top 5 for the Catfish Weekly National Championship, and I'm excited about that. I really am. We're having people sign up with tournaments nearly every day, and we're waiting on a few of them to have their meetings with their other people so they can go ahead and approve it, but they're 99% sure they're going to get on it. But Winter Blues will be the very first qualifying event, and that's a big deal to me. It really is.
Yep, it'll be the very first, and then it'll also be the very last. You know,
that's right.
It falls in there. We're going to be the last tournament of the season next year to be able to qualify for that national championship. So
that'll be outstanding. We're going to have a good time with that. I think it'll be a great time. I know Wheeler is, because we've been down there every year, and it's just too much fun down there. What else you going to do over New Year's weekend if you catfish?
That's right. I mean,
you got to go to Wheeler today. I mean, you know, our good buddy Troy Hansen, he's been making up jerky and all kinds of stuff to take down there. So and it's going to be over the New Year's Eve, so it'll be a blast.
Yeah.
We're excited for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, you know,
We had a few sponsors step up this year again, and we a few from previous years, and that $1,000 big fish prize from Bottom Dwellers is really setting it up there good. It's $500 base. If you are a customer of his within the past 12 months, a decal visible from the outside of your boat, that goes to $1,000. That little bit of stuff makes it $1,000. So that helps a little bit. And we've got another $500 bonus to the first place team if they have at least 4 Shatter Cat rods on their boat. Lyle and them are stepping up to a custom rod for the highest place in the youth team, youth being 18 years or younger. These type of companies like this, that's what makes your industry. As Jody can tell you, in the bass world, you got some of these companies that half these people never step foot on the boat in their tournaments, and that's what really sets part of this industry apart.
That's what makes this sport so great, and we're still in the infant stage of catfishing. It's going to grow. It's going to get bigger, and I can't believe the difference that I've seen in the last 5 or 10 years, and it's going to continue to grow.
Well, the establishment of the national championship, I mean, that's a huge step forward with everything. I mean, this way, there'll be that one person that he will be able to stand up and say, I am the national champion of the catfishing world. I am the best fisherman out there. And how awesome is that? I mean, that is, it's to be the best of the best, and I think it's so cool. I mean, I just, when we were talking about it before, I love listening to everything you had to say about it. I just think, this is a huge step forward with this.
It is, and the way it's a working man's sport, so many people do it different ways. A lot of people like hitting the big 5 tournament. A lot of people like the points trail. And going at it all these different ways, we're able to give everybody that chance to become the champion. The guys that hit the big 5, the Winners Blues, Mississippi River Monsters, Nashville, Ohio, they just travel and hit those. They're able to be able to go for it also without having a points trail. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to really, get the guys out there and try to be the best of the best.
Well, my perspective is the best will qualify. They'll be there.
Exactly.
It's definitely going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to see what that final field is going to be. It's going to be cool to see that, to see how it all ends up, come 2018.
Yep, and I'm using a totally different strategy this year. I've got the Russians hacking everybody's weight points. So I'm this tournament may be rigged, but I'm gonna end up winning it because I'm gonna have them, scuba divers down there putting a big on my hook this year. So I'm gonna have to prove it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to prove it. But them Russians, they can hack them weight points for me now. So I'll be on. If they can get Trump on there, they can get me a win.
Wow.
Something I wanted to talk about tonight, and I'm going to give a shout out to somebody that, whether you like him or not, I want to tell the story of Winter Blues. He may not know it or not, but Justin Brown put me up to this. and I wanted to share how all this started. A couple years ago, one of my goals, and Chuck detected this, was to make catfish a game fish in Alabama. When I started talking to legislatures, started trying to get some of the feedback out. When I started talking to some of the legislatures, they told me, look, we don't catfish. They don't catfish. None of these people that make these laws fish. One or two of them do their bass fishing. They told me, show us money. In a way, and not we have to give them money or anything. What it was is we had to show them an industry in this state. We had to show them that there was more to tourism and industry in catfishing than there was commercial fishing. Now, the bass side really pushed the gill net stuff for years, and it's easy to make a net big enough to where you can get a bass through or a strike through, but sometimes this big catfish and stuff really causes them to, they can make nets however they want now, just about. And they told me that 3 weeks before I announced the very first Winter Blues on Wheeler. I remember Chuck kind of throwing it into my ear, and that's what really made me decide to do it. So with a lot of the tourism departments starting to call us up and talk about different things, and we're inviting them out to see, this is showing them the money. This is showing them that there is a industry for it, that there's more of an industry to it than the commercial side, because there's barely any commercial side in Alabama. A little bit that is there. You can ask Chuck, you can ask Cad Daly, you can ask a few of them. When they go down the rivers, they'll see nets here or there. But that, for at least my state, that's what they challenged me to do, was to show that there was a industry, there was a tourism industry within this state. And that's what makes me so happy to see this tournament growing like it is that is what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take to, put some of the legislation out that everybody wants, that everybody is showing, that everybody shows they want. We may not all agree on how somebody words something or how somebody maybe puts to light certain things. And I know I haven't been as vocal about down here as I should be, but 3 years ago, that's what started it. Actually talking to my legislator and them telling me, this is what you got to do. And Monster on the Ohio, pretty sure it was the same way, talking with Aaron not long ago. To them, the biggest tool is to show an industry. And y'all, we're doing it. We're doing it. When you have the tourism boards jumping on board, that's the extension of state government and in most locales. But that's what this tournament started out as. That's how it started. And what's fun about it is, as I look down these 33, 5 are from Alabama. 5. I'm if we get 80 to 100, I'm guessing 10 to 12 from Alabama total. That's big for them. That is big for these legislators. That's big for this industry. And we talk about growing it. We talk about growing the industry. We talk about wanting to put laws into effect. Well, for these people, they don't catfish. Most of them don't fish at all. This is how you do it. Whether it's people coming down and fishing, whether it's people coming in, staying in their hotels, going to their Walmart, going to their local outdoor store. When they see people from Indiana, from Ohio, from Missouri coming down for the tournament, we had 12 states for the last 2 years show out. That's big. That gets their attention. That's where you start, and that's where this is growing to.
Okay, and that's what they're looking when they come down. The tourism boards, the first thing they look at is hotel rooms. How many hotel rooms are we selling out? And then the second thing is, how long are we selling them out for? That's what the what's so great about this industry is that, like Daniel said, I mean, there's very few people from Alabama doing it. It's everybody coming from everywhere else, which, that turns into, instead of just 1 night or 2 nights hotel, it turns into 3, 4, 5, 6 nights hotel. And, that's what these tourism boards are looking at. And we're going to have surveys at the cabinet meeting that we're going to ask everybody to fill out. And I'm going to take these surveys and compile it into one thing and turn it over to them to show them, how much money is being spent. At this tournament here, how can we convert that tournament into a dollar value? And, that's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it with these surveys and then with the hotel rooms. That's what they look at. And, Daniel hit the nail on the head. I mean, we got to show them that there's an industry here for it. So, I mean, it's very doable. I don't see a problem with it. And like Daniel said, I don't know if a lot of people realized it, but Chuck was talking. I seen him talking about on Facebook the other day. They slipped that gill net, slipped the gill nets back in on us up here. Nobody heard nothing about it. And how do we fight that? I mean, we can't just go up there and say, "Hey, we don't want you to have gill nets." We got to have a reason to do it. And and hopefully at some point we'll be able to get catfish, game fish status.
Well, that's what it's going to take. That's what it takes is game work. But once them gill nets are out there, when they start getting them big bass in them gill nets, you'll see some action pick up over that, because that gill net doesn't matter to it if it's a bass or a carp or a catfish. It don't matter. It'll get them all, and it kills the majority of them. Even if you take them out, most of them can't survive it.
That's right.
Yeah, but a tournament like this is a tool. On the legislation side, it is a tool. It is they see it grow. They see the industry coming. It doesn't matter if down here there's not that much of a commercial side of it, because we have the pond. We have an Alabama Catfish Farmers Association that's mostly farm ponds and ponds that actually farm catfish. So there's not a whole lot of industry for that, but 3 or 4 years ago there wasn't an industry on the tourism side either, and that's what we set out to work towards. And I mean, every time it may be somewhat, I started this tournament, so I kind of did it to myself, but I may be sitting at work and I get a phone call from somebody in Missouri, and I have to stop my work, go out and talk with them about it. But you know what? That is growing it. That just tells me the work is being done. It's and then you start getting. I got a few phone calls from another legislator not too long ago asking us about some things, and y'all, they're starting to take notice. They take notice when you have Susie from Lauderdale County, Susie Shoemaker from Lauderdale County Tourism Board, talking to these legislators on behalf of it. That's a tool, and it all has to do with this. Yep. So, for one, thank you, thank everybody that's come out in the past. We've had a great time. It's been amazing growing this thing. So, can't wait to see where it goes.
It's just going to get better and better every year. I just don't see it being any other situation for that, because a lot of people don't look at it the way I do. But for me, winter blues over New Year's Eve weekend is the perfect storm, because there's not much else you can do any better than go to Wheeler Lake and get on some big old catfish. Even if you don't do good in the tournament, I know guys that was down there for 4 or 5 days last year and put 80s and 90s in the boat every day up until tournament day, and they wasn't mad about not finishing good in the tournament because they already had a great week. It
was the sum of the whole week.
That's right.
I'm sitting at work the week of the tournament, and I get text messages and emails and stuff from people showing me their personal best they just got, and then telling me don't tell anybody. And that to me, I'm at work and I look over at my phone and I see that picture of an 85 90 pounder when the Mr. Martin sent me that picture of his personal best. I thought, really? That's that's fun to me. That's awesome to me. But that's part of what I think makes this tournament fun. One, it's time of year. Two, it's everybody getting together. Everybody getting together, either starting the tournament season or starting the year off or ending the year, as in this case. That's part of the fun, So, and we're just happy we're able to grow it to where we can offer the $5,000 guaranteed first, where we can offer these products, where we can offer just these different products and these different, I guess you'd say, experiences. Because to me, when I would go fishing, whether I caught a huge fish or not, the tournament was an experience. Whether it was just getting together with people or not, that was the fun part. So
absolutely, and I've told this many times before, but some of the best times that we have are sitting around outside of a motel room or New Year's Eve at Wheeler with the door open on the cabin, everybody running in and out, having a good time. That's as good a time as doing well in the tournament. Well, I don't know. We've hit some pretty good licks in some tournaments, but it is, really it is. We had a great time down in Memphis. We always have an outstanding time in Owensboro. And Wheeler is right there. It's the same deal. If you go down there, and if I didn't catch a fish, there's no doubt in my mind I'd still have a great time. And that's what it's all about.
That city, I guess you'd call it a city, more of a town. For everybody that's been down there, it is not exactly, it's not Memphis. It's not Owensboro. It's an itty-bitty little town, but they sure know when Winter Blues comes around. They feel it. They know it. And that's part of the fun of it is you're in a small rural town of Alabama and some of the best water around to fish in, and you go anywhere around it, they've got a boat. They thank you. I mean, I remember when I checked into the lodge last year, them thanking us and no, thank y'all. That's the big thing. Thank y'all for what y'all have. Thank y'all for coming down. I'm excited to see what this tournament looks like in a year or two when there's 150 boats, 160 boats, because 80 boats in that little town is quite interesting. So there's only so many boats you can get in the Dollar General parking lot.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Well, me and Daniel was talking earlier before we, got on here. We was talking about looking at payouts and everything else. And, we was going through the payout schedule that we got set up for this thing. And, on 100 boats, fifth place is still getting $1,000. So, I mean, it's not a bad payout. First through fifth, fifth place still getting $1,000 off of it. So, it's going to be a good payout too. Even beyond that guaranteed $5,000.
Yeah, and if you notice from last year, it's the same payout schedule, same first place guarantee, but we actually dropped the price. And I see that kind of sticking with Winter Blues. The more sponsors and industry that it begins, the more and more we can grow it. So that's a product of it growing.
Well, it's really jumped from the first year to where you guys have got it now. And like I say, it's just too much fun.
Well, as a reminder to everybody too, we're going to stop online registrations December 25th. At midnight, December 25th at Christmas, we'll turn the online registrations off. And December 24th will be the deadline for checks being mailed in. So December 24th, mailed in checks, December 25th, online registration. That way it'll give us that week to kind of get all the money together and get everything in one spot. You know, we'll need that for, you know, money to be transferred, checks to clear, and all that other stuff. So, yeah, if you're going to, now remember that the captain's meeting, though, it's going to be 175 at the captain's meeting. So if you wait till the night of, it's going to be a little bit more. But, you know, hopefully more people will go ahead and get registered online here in the next few days, and we kind of, you know, get everything built up. And that way, and plus, the more people we have registered online, the faster that the check-in process goes. If you're already registered online, you come through there, we check your name off, and just move on through. If you wait till the night up to do it, then you're going to be standing there doing paperwork and standing in line and all that. So, you know, we really encourage everybody to register online if you can.
And also, we still have another 25 skipjack to give away from Big Cat Bait Company as soon as we hit 50. Whether that's before the captain's meeting or during the captain's meeting. The minute we hit 50, we're gonna give away some more skipjack. So we want to thank Big Cat Bait Company for that.
Boy, them guys do a hell of a job with that too.
Yes, they are.
They really do. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on, taking your time out to help us clear everything up for this. And I think you're going to have a great tournament, and everybody's going to have a really big time down there.
Hey, we're excited.
Hey, we're looking forward to it. We appreciate everybody helping us out and promoting it and being a part of it.
Well, I'm just convinced that it's going to be a good time. It always is. And you guys taking your time out this evening to join us on the show and telling everybody about it, that's a big deal to us. And if you guys come up with anything that we've neglected tonight, just post it up on the Catfish Weekly webpage, and a lot of people see it that way.
We'll do it.
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us on the show tonight.
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all.
Boys, that's going to be a lot of fun. I think that there'll be a lot of people show up down there, and I think they'll have a great time just like they always do. Chuck, are you excited about Winter Blues? You've got to you're muted.
I'm trying to arrange where I'm going to be able to do a little bit of pre-fishing for it the day before. I just hate showing up and fishing that day. It's a lot better for me to be able to enjoy a couple of days on Wheeler.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to arrange some things to where I might can spend Friday and Saturday maybe. So if that happens, it's going to be a lot better for me. But I'm fishing with Tony again, and
great guy.
Maybe my work of us let me switch Friday and Monday.
That'd be nice.
So
That'd be nice.
Our off days on Monday, and that's not doing me very much good.
Heath, are you and Elena going to make it to Winter Blues?
No, we're not going to do Winter Blues. We've got family Christmases and stuff that are carrying over. We have so many places we go to, so we're not going to make that one. I am going to get down there and fish Wheeler for the first time at the end of January for the JKV tournament. I'm going to get down. I'm excited for that one.
Well, yeah, that'll be a good time too. I don't know what the weather will be like down there. Chuck may know how much it'll change between the 1st of January and the last of January, but that's for a very worthwhile cause. Some of the benefits of that are going to Paul Strauss deal, and that's outstanding venue for that, and a great place to have a tournament.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to finally getting down there and fishing it. I have never been there.
Well, it's exciting. You'll have a great time, and I promise you it'll be warmer there than it is in Indiana.
Ooh, won't take much.
Yeah. It's going to be. It's a blast down there. Those cabins are, I don't know where you're staying at or anything when you go down there. I like staying in the cabins, but staying at a motel, there's nothing wrong with that either. You don't have to worry about it. Those cabins got everything you want right there. You can fix your own meals or however you want to do it, and they're very comfortable to stay in. Chuck, what do you got for closing statements tonight?
I really don't have anything. Just winter blues is the only thing I got coming up. Christmas before that.
Yep.
And a lot of working in between. So.
And there's only so much work you can do, dude. One of these days you're going to have to slack off on a little bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll be able to handle it. Yeah, this is a great time of year, and I can't wait to enjoy it.
Oh yeah, it'd be a blast. Doc, I know you got a tip for us. Anything else you need to go over before we close out tonight?
No, I wish I could go to Wheeler and fish. My shop is shut down for that week and the week afterwards. So every maintenance guy that's involved at my shop we're all going to be working. So unfortunately, I got to stay in Ohio and tolerate the cold. And so probably while I'll be working, people are going to be posting on Facebook all the fish that they're catching. That's what usually happens. So
I
wish I could go. But Doc's tips tonight, I don't know, anybody that followed me on Facebook this past weekend, I rebuilt my reels, got half of them done out of 22 or 20 some that I've got. I got half of them done. And my tip is, if you get the opportunity, change over to these ceramic pawls. They cost a little bit more, but man, they don't wear. And most of the problems that you have with a reel is that pawl gets wore down, and then it wants to stick to one side of the bait cast. It'll stay in the middle, and then you'll see the lines start piling up on the very ends by the reel spool. If that happens, usually that pawl is worn down and it won't slide into the groove it's designed. The ceramic does away with that because it doesn't wear. So that's my tip for the night. Change over to the ceramic pawls. So.
Now the new the new drag washers that they come out with is something else that people ought to consider when they're working on those, because they're a big advantage compared to what they used to be. So I really don't have any closing stuff for tonight, but what I want to mention is the Catfish Conference 2017 coming up in February. You guys need to make sure that you make plans to attend this. Once you come back from Wheeler fishing that tournament, you're going to sit down and you're going to rest up a little bit. And then the next thing you know, you're going to need another fishing fix. And the best way to get it, once you're done with Wheeler, is to head down there and go to the conference and see all of the stuff. There'll be tons of vendors down there. Everybody in the sport's going to be there. Just go down there and have a great time, and it'll be a great time. The guys have put a lot of effort into this. They're working really hard to make it happen, just like Daniel and Jody are with Winter Blues, and it's going to be a blast both places, so make sure that you show up. Heath Malone, thank you for being part of Catfish Weekly tonight. We look forward to having you back on here with us one of these days. We got to get together one of these days. You and I got some fishing to do. We just haven't made that happen, but we got to get to doing it.
We're probably going to have 7 or 8 inches of ice by Saturday. You can come over and get out there with us if you want.
I'm pretty sure that will never happen. Ice fishing and me just does not. I have no desire for that.
No.
Now, if I can throw out a half a skipjack out the boat and hit that hole in the ice, we're good. But if I can't, I'm probably not going to be there, buddy. Do you guys do a lot of ice fishing?
Oh yeah, yep.
Do you?
Yeah, and I can't wait for it. Just the lakes freeze up here, and we just can't get a boat out there. So then you got to wait for it to get safe enough to actually walk on. And
I don't care how thick you say it is. It's not thick enough for me to be out there.
I think last year I was sending you pictures of us driving on it.
Yeah, I know Troy and them guys do it all the time. Jerry and all them. They go out there and drill them holes, and if the hole is drilled and it's 10 inches thick, it's probably not thick enough for this old fat man to be out there on. I just have to, unless you can build me a bonfire to sit around, and I might drink with you and shoot the bull, but I'm going to do it from the bank.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. You agree, don't you, Doc?
Oh, yeah. Well, what drives me nuts is I'll stand on a dock and watch those guys out there on CJ fishing on that, and then all of a sudden you'll hear that ice shifts and it cracks. And you can tell the guys that are used to it because they don't flinch. But, man, I've seen a few of them people stand straight up and be grabbing buckets and running.
Yeah, I'd left the bucket. I wasn't even worried about the bucket.
No, I wouldn't either.
Well, thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. We'll be right here next Monday night on Catfish Weekly. Thanks a lot, folks.